Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hellraiser Blog. Brought today to you from Derry in Northern Ireland. It's about an hour away from Belfast, and I'm promoting a show with Eamon O'Kane's father, who runs King Kane Promotions. Eamon O'Kane is rated in the top 10 in the world in the IBF, and we're hoping to push him towards a world title, boost his ranking, and he's going to achieve that hopefully this weekend by beating Lewis Taylor. Lewis Taylor's a good boxer, very sound defensively, tight hands, doesn't really waste anything at all. He's never boxed anyone with either the punch power or the ability of Eamon O'Kane, so it's a tough fight for him, but I think it's not one where we can say 100% Eamon's going to walk this. Absolutely not. I think there's a good chance we're going to see a very close fight, and that's part of the risk you have to take as a boxing promoter. Sometimes you have to choose. Look, I favour Eamon to win, 100%. I think he'll win, but he's fighting someone who's motivated, who's fit, who looks very focused and determined to come, and he's not coming to make the numbers up, that's for sure. I can tell, you can see that in fighters, when you're used to working with them, you can see this guy's here for the money and go home, this guy's here to give it a real good go, and I can see Lewis Taylor, he's going to give it a real good go, and good luck to him. Look, I was a boxer once, I appreciate what he wants to do is not good for my business or the people I'm working with's business, but as a boxer, I wish him all the best, and hopefully Eamon wins it. But if he wins it, if Lewis wins it, then that's fair play, and good luck to him. Right, so the show in Derry, we've got one ticket seller on the whole bill. That is Eamon O'Kane. The rest of the bill is put together from us ducking and diving and trying to put things in place where we can. It's not easy, I mean, it's hard enough. I run my shows at Camden. We normally go with about 12 ticket sellers, and we do well if we can break even. To run a show with one ticket seller, and look, you've got to realise, I don't think people often, they must be aware, right, there's a sanctioning fee, but look, this is for an IBF title. You've got about £5,000 worth of sanctioning fees. On top of that, with referees, judges, supervisors. On top of that, you then got to fly these guys in, these judges and students. They have to fly. The supervisor has to come in first class, business class, which doesn't come cheap. I can tell you, it absolutely does not come cheap. It comes very expensive, and the promoter has to meet that expense and cover it. And if you haven't got the ticket sellers or TV back in, there's no TV in this show in Derry. Hopefully, if Eamon can come through it, then we can get for either a final eliminator, or we might even get a straight shot at the world title. I believe then he could get TV, but it's a huge risk to take business-wise. Without the backing of the people from Derry and of his father, particularly putting everything in place, and Paddy Fitzpatrick, the trainer of George Groves, who's now looking after Eamon, couldn't happen. There's a lot of people who've really stuck their necks on the line to try and get this to happen, and we have to get behind Eamon. I hope the people of Derry will get behind Eamon, and because that, I know the impact that can have on a boxer's performance, and we need that to happen so that he can perform. I've got one fighter that I manage on the bill. It's Junior Saeed, guy. He was very inactive at the beginning of his career, no focus. I think a lot of guys, they turn over, they hear lots of sort of, they're very ambitious, and they hear promises of, you're going to be a millionaire overnight, and it doesn't happen. That's the bitter, horrible, unpleasant truth that no one wants to listen to. It doesn't happen like that. It just doesn't happen. You've got to work and work and work and work, often for little reward, until you become a commodity that television's interested in. Then yes, you can go and earn big money, but that doesn't happen just by flicking a switch, and so we're always building, putting the guys in position so they can go and earn that money. And for example, Saeed, he's getting a small purse tomorrow night, but it's the right opponent for him. He's actually going to box 3 times this month, so we're within four weeks. So now he's going to be very active. I've signed him up. I mean, he actually hurt his he had an injury, so he was out for a little while since I signed him, but he still managed to have, I think he's had like 3 fights in 5 months or something since I've had him. and he could have had 3 more. He just unfortunate that he wasn't able to through injury. Providing he gets through tomorrow without injury, he will have 3 fights in a month, and then we're getting a little bit closer to fighting for some sort of title, maybe a Southern area, something like that. And then you can start earning a little bit, and if he wins that and moves on to English, then we start looking a bit more seriously at the purses. Obviously, this weekend we've got Mayweather-Pacquiao, the biggest fight of all time. Who's going to win that? I've had so many people, journalists, friends, people I haven't spoken to for 5 years. Why are they all so bothered? Who do I think is going to... Right, I'll tell you what, I should broadcast this everywhere. In fact, I should wear a sticker on my head, put it on my Facebook and my Twitter permanently on the thing, because it stopped people asking me. I think Mayweather's going to win on points. I think Mayweather has slowed down. I've known Mayweather since he was in the amateurs, so I've known him a long time. He was super fast, the angles, the punch variety, the work rate has always been fantastic. I would say I've noticed him slow down. The last couple of years, when I've seen him sparring, I have noticed him slow down. But let me say something. Floyd Mayweather is a guy who can slow down on one day, even for 2, 3, 4 sparring sessions in a row. He can be not 100%. But when the fight comes, he knows how to prepare himself. When the date of the fight comes, he's always spot on in terms of sharpness, and he gets it right by then. And the biggest reason why I fancy Mayweather to win, Pacquiao struggles with counter punches. People always seem to be, at the moment, more people seeming to say that, Pacquiao's... Look, Mayweather has never been floored or knocked out. Pacquiao hasn't knocked anyone out for ages. Mayweather does very well against people that come at him. You've got to remember, Pacquiao is fighting Mayweather in Vegas, in a casino. Do you think... if they're going to lean to favour anyone, they're going to favour Mayweather. Mayweather's probably going to backpedal and box. And Pacquiao is going to have to take risks to come at him. And Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen anywhere at counter-punching and boxing a guy who's leaving himself open through coming forward. So for me, I really, really fancy Mayweather to win. I think on points, because I think he could knock Pacquiao out if he comes forward, but I don't think he's going to come forward because he's a clever guy. He's a smart bloke and a smart boxer, and he'll just think, thank you very much. Another round in the bag, another round with no risk, another round in the bag. He'll take minimal risk. He's a clever guy. He's smart enough to realise, okay, I win here. 4 or 5 months down the line, he can box again and earn another packet of money. And he'll be aware that retirement is coming closer to him. So he needs, though, probably doesn't need the money as such, but he needs as many paydays as he can get before he does retire. Because I can't see Mayweather becoming like a trainer or a TV analyst or anything like that, because I just think once he's done, he's going to be done. He'll move on, maybe into promotion. That's a possibility. He's a smart businessman. He could be a promoter, but promoting is often a lot of work for no money or actually losing money, and is a guy who has made literally tens of millions for one fight going to want to do that? I can't see it. Maybe he will. I don't know. I can't see it myself. Anyway, right. That's today's blog done. It's going to be a weekly blog. We done one last week. This is the second instalment of the weekly blog. Next week I'm going to do another. In fact, I've already got my topics for the forthcoming blogs. We're going to do weasels in boxing, i.e. agents, matchmakers, managers who blow smoke up boxers' arses, who tell them what they want to hear, who lie to them, who exploit them, who make promises that they can't keep. Some people avoid that in boxing because they don't want to upset anyone. But I don't care. Right, listen, I absolutely do not care. I'm going to tell it how it is, because that's how I live my life and that's how it's going to be. We're going to do a blog, and I'm going to sort of point out some of the usual ruses that can be pulled on boxers. And look, it's not only managers and promoters and agents and matchmakers doing that to boxers. There's also boxers that can be weasels too, and they can try and pull strokes and tell lies and try and fob off investors, sponsors, promoters, they're the same. So this needs to be exposed and covered, and it will be right here on the Hellraiser blog. I'm also going to, I don't know which order I'm going to do this, but I'm also going to do a blog on the failure of MMA. Everybody told us about, oh, boxing's finished, you know, it's all MMA. Well, it's not. That's the truth. Look at the figures. Look at pay-per-view. Boxing outdoes MMA pay-per-view wise by a stretch. Casinos pay much higher fees to hold and host boxing events, because they know the high rollers come. Most of them will come to boxing. MMA, because it doesn't have that place in our culture that boxing has, it's not competing. And it's, if anything, I think the bubble's starting to burst on MMA, and actually it's not overtaken boxing, and boxing now is pulling away. We look at some of the fights we've got coming up, obviously this weekend for one. Boxing is still number one. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to speak to you next week, because this is a weekly blog and it goes out every Friday or Saturday for your entertainment. See you soon, guys. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.